Hey little cuties, Demi Bemi here, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. And if you haven't, if you've been lurking for a while, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you know when I upload. It's free. Today I would like to venture into some uncharted territory. Usually I make other people's patterns, but today I would like to drape my own pattern on my dress form here. I have draped one other garment. I actually have the pattern back here. It's just kind of a basic slip dress, and the muslin turned out pretty okay. I haven't made it out of any real fabric yet, so that's to be determined if that worked out okay. But today what I would like to do is make a corset belt or a waist cincher. So here is the design I have. It's a little bit curved on the hem just because I feel like that'll fit the body a little bit better. But other than that, should all be straight lines for the most part. Should be pretty easy to sew. Okay, without further ado, let's just go ahead and rock and roll, baby. So here are our pieces of the pattern, and we're going to use this as like a road map to actually drape. I'm a little bit nervous, but I think it'll be okay. So we have our little front panel here. This is where I'm gonna put the eyelets, and then each of these are gonna be a seam. Alright guys, I have pinned my muslin together here and kind of tested it out, if you could call it that, just to make sure all the pieces generally fit together and to make sure that it looked like it would fit me. However, it is about an inch or so too long for my torso. So I'm gonna shorten up the top. I feel like that'll just be the easiest edge to shorten, about an inch or so, and then we can see if that will work. And that seems like that will actually do the trick. So let's go ahead and put this baby on paper. Alrighty, all of my paper pattern pieces are cut out and I taped them together just to make sure everything fit together well. All of the top seams fit together pretty good. However, on the bottom seam, I needed to make a few little adjustments, but that should do it. I couldn't decide if I should do a muslin mock-up just to make sure all of the pieces go together how I want them to, or if I should just say, fuck it, I'm impatient and I'm just gonna cut it out of the lace. And I had asked all of you to vote on your phones, and you voted a 50-50 split. So I did get a message from the always delightful Ashley, and she said, I've seen this episode before, you should do the mock-up. So she's right, I should stop being impatient, I should just do the mock-up, and if it all goes well, then we can do the lace. So let's move on over to the cutting table and we will cut ourselves a mock-up. Hell, what the fuck? Alright, all 6 of my pattern pieces are cut out. Well, technically it's 11 pieces, but they're all cut out. So let's slap this baby together and see if it looks good. She's all sewn up. She's looking good. I'm very excited to show you guys what it's kind of gonna look like. Obviously, this is just a cotton mock-up, so it's not gonna be nearly as structured as the final piece with the boning in it. But here's what she looks like. I'm very excited. Since our muslin mock-up looks so stinking good, I'm gonna go over it and just kind of make sure everything looks nice. Otherwise, I think we are ready to cut out the lace, and I honestly couldn't be more excited. So it is like 2 a.m. or something, and I decided to get into something a little more comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Alright, well, I guess next thing is just to cut out the lace and satin, so let's do that. Okay, so I finished sewing together the lace, which was an absolute pain in the ass, and I actually broke one of my needles. My patience with this is a little bit thin. It is also 2 something in the morning, so I think we'll just have to pick this back up tomorrow, but tomorrow we'll just start with the satin, which I have a feeling may be just as difficult. All right, well, I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm feeling a little bit calmer about this project, and I've got my glass of mead in this ridiculous goblet. So let's just quickly go over the things that I've got to do for tonight, maybe, just depending on how long it takes me. I still need to cut out panel number 1, which is where the eyelets go, and then also create those eyelet panels, because I'm going to put interfacing in them and then hand sew the eyelet holes instead of using grommets. I just think that'll look nicer. And then probably the biggest thing is to cut out the bias tape, which hopefully won't be too bad, but I do need 115 inches approximately of the bias tape. So we'll see about that. I've never created bias tape on the bias before. I know that sounds silly, but I've made a tape with the grain instead of going diagonally, but since this does have some curves in it, I do have to make it on the bias, so hopefully that goes well. And then we just have to attach the boning channels, and then that's probably the max amount that I will get done tonight. So I have finished the boning channels. They are kind of wonky. Actually, that one doesn't look as bad. That one doesn't look good. The fabric was super slippery. I couldn't press it into proper bias tape. It was just generally a hassle all around. And then at one point I had my machine tension too high, and it was a whole thing. Okay, so now my next steps for this is to add on the tape to the top edge. But anyways, since we are so close, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Let's get this little baby finished. Okay, so now that I have all of the boning channels in, the top tape put on, and I'm ready to put in the boning and finish this baby up, please enjoy this montage of me just completing this project because I'm getting too impatient. Well, there you have it. She is done. I know for you guys, it's probably been like, I don't know, 15 minutes of me making this thing, but in real time, it's been several weeks of me procrastinating and getting upset and frustrated. And I do have to say, it is mostly my fault. I didn't make proper boning channels. I just tried to like kind of cut corners, but also like not intentionally cut corners by just using like making a bias tape for the boning channels instead of having like an actual channel that the boning is inside of. Next time I would probably fashion like a proper channel, especially if I'm using lace. I think the bias tape method works for an item that has like a solid backing instead of like a mesh net backing like how the lace is, because my boning kept trying to escape out the back, so I had to add these little square pieces of fabric at the tops of the boning so they stopped like popping out the top. I also probably would have done more testing on some extra lace because my tension on my machine wasn't right and it kept like catching. Thankfully, all of the like nasty kind of like sewing mistakes are on the back of the garment where you can't really see like the wads of threading from the bobbin. Also, I think I will probably just like buy pre-made satin bias tape. I don't know what it was with the satin I had, but it would not press. I couldn't get any crisp lines in it, so I couldn't actually make bias tape out of it. With a slippery fabric is obviously an issue, but overall I would say I do like it. I think it's cute. I'm moderately happy with it. I think I would like to give this specific project another try. The pattern I think is absolutely perfect, but I don't think that with maybe my skill set and the materials I was using that it really turned out great, but I think it's wearable. I don't think anyone's gonna really notice the mistakes except me and probably all of you because I told you what the mistakes are. I feel like that was kind of a quick wrap up, but it really wasn't like a big project to begin with, and there wasn't really a lot wrong with it, but there you have it. And now I am moving on to my next project, which I'm super excited about, and I'm so excited to show you guys as well. And if you still haven't, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more projects that I do. I'm also planning on doing some lookbook type outfit videos and some more of the coffee date videos as well. So I've got lots planned. So I hope you stick around with me, and I will see you little cuties in the next one. Bye!
Wow.